Australia takes a step closer to being back in the pink of health. And the man that we have with us has had a deep relationship with Australia 32 years ago. They used a very fancy word to describe him. Mr. Harsha Bhogle, the voice of Indian cricket, is with us on Cricbuzz Chatter. Pink ball, Adelaide, India has been a troubled relationship, sir. But this big smile on your face tells you that it's not been a bad outing for you, has it?
I was smiling because I knew you'd come up with a line like that. Being in the pink of health. Well, as things stand at the end of day one, Australia's in the pink of health, and India's looking a little sickly, maybe a little purple rather than pink. But yeah, I mean, I think India gave it away towards the end.
They won the toss. Rohit Sharma back in the hot seat as captain, and he chooses to bat first. Did that decision surprise you? Because one thought India, with the kind of confidence their bowling has, might perhaps want to have a go at the Aussies, but they chose to bat first. Was that surprising?
No, because all the numbers are telling you, you look at the history of all the matches that are played there, inevitably the team that has batted first has won. I mean, the only time I think that didn't happen, or one of the rare occasions that didn't happen, was in the 36 all out, where the team batting second won. But otherwise, typically in a day-night game in Adelaide, you get excellent batting conditions early on, just after the first 10 overs or so, when the ball doesn't swing as much, and then you are set when batting becomes difficult. So it's the pattern. You win the toss, bat, score a lot of runs, and then catch the opposition on the hop. So it didn't surprise me at all. In fact, if you looked at the toss, Rohit, as soon as the coin fell in his favor, said bat. So they'd made up their minds, and so that didn't surprise me. What surprised me was the amount of swing that Mitchell Starc got. I mean, Starc and the pink ball is one of the strongest cricketing marriages.
Yes, 70 plus wickets. We'll get to that. But Harsha, as commentators, you've been doing it for decades now. You do get a sense of what the mood of the day is going to be. What was your reaction when the finger went off for Jaiswal first ball?
Happens. It just told me how sport is such a great leveler that you can make 160 one day and get out first ball the next. But it also showed you how much the ball was swinging, because that ball normally with the trajectory might well have gone down leg side. It swung back in, and I think that is where it defeated him in the shot. He probably thought, look, I'm getting a nice little two off my pads through mid wicket. So it was the first indication that that pink ball is going to swing. And then you saw after that, I mean, I saw some numbers. I think Starc at one point had swung the ball 3.3 degrees. And I heard this voice in my ear from our stats people saying that never in day-night matches at the Adelaide Oval has a new ball swung so much. So the moment the left-arm bowler swings the ball, next time you meet Zach, ask him, when the left-arm bowler is able to swing the ball into the left-hander, oh wow, it's into the right-hander, it's wow.
Yes, Mitchell Starc and the pink ball is a love story for the ages. As we said, 6 wickets today. Completely broke the back of the Indian batting wicket, slowed down the order, as well as that impact ball. The Jaiswal wicket perhaps got him a lot more advantage. Intangibly, the power of that wicket, a lot more than just one wicket.
Absolutely. You look at his reaction when he takes the wicket. It's almost as if he's really charged up, because over the last 6 or 7 days, especially the last 2 or 3 days, all the chatter has been about whether Australia are in a decline, whether they need newer blood coming in, whether Australia will struggle when they play the Ashes next year. And it must have got to the Australian team, because I was at a couple of functions and Pat Cummins was asked exactly the same question. How are you going to play Bumrah? How are you going to, they were all very negative questions. So maybe that wicket just G'd them on a little bit. But it's interesting that it led to India's best phase in the game. After that little play and miss, Rahul a bit lucky to be with the no ball. But at 69 for one, with both batters batting freely, it looked like it was going to be India's game.
Mitchell Starc's spells today, perhaps a lesson for young fast bowler Harsha in knowing when to use what weapon. He mixed it up beautifully, and all the lengths that he bowled seem to have paid off. We've got a little pitch map for you. We've tried to sort of assess what Starc did. What does this graphic tell you, sir?
It's me that he's a fantastic bowler of the Yorker. Among the top 2 or 3 bowlers in the contemporary game with the Yorker. Now, it's that full ball that's got Jaiswal, that's got Ashwin, and that's got Harshit Rana, the full balls. When he's bowled short, he got the extra bounce. That was especially the ball against Kohli, against Rahul. That was the extra ball, the extra bounce. So you're right. He was just in fantastic rhythm. And I found it interesting. As soon as the Indian innings was over, he was talking to Isha Guha, and Isha said, "What is it with you and the pink ball?" And he said, "Honestly, I don't know. It Things happen sometimes with the pink ball. I think when the left armer swings the ball and that pink ball was swinging for him, I think that is what made the whole difference. What also benefited Australia enormously was the support cast. It's something I know we'll talk about later, which India did not get, but the support cast today, when Starc is taking 6 wickets, the others are giving away nothing.
No Hazelwood, no problem. Said Starc is with the pink ball. He's double the bowler. He's anywhere. And he's pretty good anyway with the red cherry as well as the white ball. Take a look at that in pink ball test matches. 13 test matches. Australia have won to 11. I think they've lost one test match, which is earlier this year against the West Indies at Shamar Joseph test match. But 72 wickets in 13 matches just goes to tell you that he likes waking up late, turning up in the whites with the pink ball in his hand.
Up late, but yeah, you've got to wake up late if you've got to be absolutely switched on at quarter to 10 or 10, or I mean the way they're bowling their overs. Thank God you don't have to bowl 90 in the day, otherwise they'd be well beyond midnight too. So yeah, 13 wickets, the 13 matches, 72 wickets is extraordinary. And just that period, when he came back for the second spell, if you notice his first spell, he got that wicket, but then I think he conceded 27 in his first five. But the great thing about a bowler like Starc is you can come back, and it was Starc's second spell that affected India when he took the 2 or 3 wickets in the second spell that really hurt India. I mean, going from 69 for one to 106 for five or whatever it was when Rohit got out. That is what killed India. That was Stark's second spell with this guy called Scott Boland at the other end. He's a fascinating character, man. Scott Boland. He's like a cult hero in this country. He just picks up the ball and all he does is he bowls it in one place. And one comes in, one goes out, one comes in, one goes out. He just bowls it in one place. Today was a little expensive. Maybe he didn't have enough bowling behind him. He's playing a test match after a long time. But he is the epitome of simplicity. He will just keep bowling there. Keep bowling there. You wake him up, shake him, he'll keep bowling there. Ek andar, ek bahar, seedha. Ek andar, ek bahar, seedha. What more do you want on a track like that, which is your friend? This was the equivalent of a Turner in India for the fast bowlers.
It goes to show that the bench strength is pretty good. Missing out on Hazelwood,
With the bowling,
not made their
with the bowling it is. With the batting it isn't. With the bowling it is.
Most certainly. Now, the Indian batting, a big decision for Rohit Sharma to not open, and he said, "Future में शायद चीजें बदलेंगी, लेकिन इस टेस्ट मैच के लिए KL Rahul." Were you in agreement with that call?
Look, my view has always been that if you're the opening batter in the team, you sign up for every situation. So you're going in on a flat deck where you can score 500 runs as an opener, life is great. On a green top, when the ball is swinging around, life is not so great. But when you sign in as the opener, then that is what you sign in for. My concern is the differing messages going out to KL Rahul. We've talked about this before on this program. KL Rahul was told your future's at number 5, number 6 when he came into bat in Bangalore in the first test match of the series. Now he's done really well as an opener. How long is he going to open? Is he going to continue opening the batting? Or if Rohit Sharma gets runs in the second innings, is he going to come back? Was Rohit Sharma worried that he was underdone in a sense, and so that it made sense for him to be at 6 and KL Rahul to be there? Or does he think, look, maybe I'll finish my career batting in the middle order and let Rahul go up the order with Yashasvi? So those are questions. I think this move has raised more questions and needs a very definite answer. A very definite answer. You cannot say, oh, maybe next game I'll go and open and someone else will come down. I think there's got to be a definite answer to this.
If you look at the India batting card, clearly 180 all out is not really a good performance by any stretch. But because it's pink ball, can of fans say, listen, we don't play pink ball too much, no. So maybe not prepared enough. They had a 10-11 day gap. They played one Prime Minister's 11 game, which was a 48 over game. They did get a bit of a hit there. Could it be a case of not having seen enough of the pink ball?
There was a red ball in Perth. And India made 150, didn't they? We were 73 for 6, 120 for 7, and literally huffed and puffed their way to 150. So I don't know if it's the ball alone, because when Gill was batting, when KL Rahul was batting after that early reprieve, batting didn't look so hazardous. when Ashwin was stroking that ball so fluently for his 20, it didn't look so difficult. So I'm not so sure it's a pink. I just think it was a swing. And I think some of the batters got a little bit on the hop. Virat getting out the same way. I think it's a worry. He's getting out the same way. So I'm not sure it was the pink ball. Let's be honest. I'm not sure it was the pink ball at all.
The other thing that's worrying passionate Rohit Sharma fans, and all of us have loved watching him bat, is his lean patch of form. Just 150 since the start of the season. That one against New Zealand. I think it was the second innings in Bengaluru. Not too much apart from that. How worried should the Rohit Sharma fan be, or the India fan be?
Of course, it is a worry. When a player of that caliber, who's averaging 44 as an opener, 40 in the middle order, and I mean, his career turned around after he went up to open the batting. When you get a patch like that, of course, it is worrisome. I mean, I'm here in Australia, and all that I've heard is, what do we do with Manas? What do we do with Manas? Because it's a similar patch. Manas has got 190 and nothing else in between. Rohit has got that 152. We are talking about 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 innings with 150. Of course, it's worrisome. But you back players, much like Virat Kohli came out of a patch to score 100 in Perth. You have to back Rohit Sharma to come out of this patch and score runs. But yes, it's a worry. Every player will go through a phase like that in life at some point or the other. But he needs runs. I mean, he needs runs either here or in the next Test match.
Is it also worrying for a proud Hyderabadi to see the flavor of Hyderabad cricket change? I mean, sinewy wrists of EVS Lakshman. Now to see Nitish Kumar Reddy hit a big six of a great fast bowler. What's happening?
You know, what I loved about Nitish Reddy was that he came in a difficult situation and he was getting behind the line of the ball. He was playing properly straight. He looked every inch a batter when he came into bat at that number. And then once Ashwin got out, it was almost as if the pressure had all gone away. Now suddenly he had to switch into T20 mode or into attacking mode. And then he played some breathtaking shots. And I think in course of time, Nitish Reddy will become a batting all-rounder. I was on air with Karaoke, who's a complete cricket nerd, cricket tragic, and he says he sees Nitish Reddy batting at 5 or 6 for India in the long term because he's doing so many things correctly. And from what we saw with the bowling, I think there's a little bit more work in progress with the bowling, but enormously impressive with his temperament, with his ability to size up a situation, know what to do where. So far, it's been 3 innings from Nitish Reddy, but so far he's starting to look like the find of the series. But it's only 3 innings, so we've got to be careful.
Word of caution for fans that get excited too easily. Some might be tempted to use the expression "lambi race ka ghoda" for Nitish Reddy. Do we hold on to that superlative just yet?
3 कदम लिए हैं आपने, तो कौन सी लंबी रेस आपने की है? He looks like he can,
Yeah.
but listen, people become lambi race ke ghode because they do it across all conditions. They do it through good times and bad. They do it on good pitches and bad. They do it through difficult mental situations and bad. They come out of a bad patch and then come back and hit a purple patch. So you only judge that after you've been through a few situations. At the moment, just say, here's someone with a lot of promise. Here's someone who seems to know what to do in situations, and he's played on 2 difficult surfaces before. So let's enjoy the promise, but let's not look at it as an Instagram reel to get instant reactions.
Now, they used the word promising for a young man a few years ago, Jasprit Bumrah. How well has he delivered? 50 wickets in this calendar year. Just the 1 wicket of Usman Khawaja. He's like a stock that keeps delivering, regardless of where the market is. Bumrah once again did what he did in Perth as well.
All the years that I have come to Australia, I have only once before seen this kind of awe about an overseas player, and that was when Tendulkar was in his form. Everywhere I go, I promise you, everywhere I go, I attend a function, I meet people, the only thing they want to ask me about is, how good is Bumrah? How do we play Bumrah? How does he do this? Where does Bumrah come from? It's almost as if Bumrah's entered the minds of all the Australians. And I mean, he bowled beautifully. Today, I think he took a little bit of time to discover for himself what the best was. And I think his overs 5, 6, and 7 were absolutely fantastic. But I don't think he got the support, Manish, behind him. So you can have a Bumrah, and I mean, there's so much awe about Bumrah in this country. You listen to them and you think this is Holding, Marshall, Akram, Garner, all sort of meshed into one, and it's called Jasprit Bumrah. But he bowled even today. I mean, the Australian game plan is very clear. You see out Bumrah and then see what happens at the other end. And I don't think India attacked enough at the other end. So it's almost as if see off Bumrah. Let's see what we can do. But 50 wickets in a calendar year, he's bowling beautifully. I mean, there's just something about him. He did a lovely interview today before play started. It's his birthday, of course. He turns 31. He did a lovely interview before play started today, where he talked about why his run up is the way it is. But what I enjoyed more than anything else was he said he doesn't get too carried away by success and he doesn't get too dragged down by failure. It is this equanimity and his constant desire to learn. Did you know? I didn't know that he never had a coach. He said, I never had a coach in my life. I've only learned by watching, learned by using my mind and solving problems. And I think it's a very interesting thing to listen to for young kids who are overcoached. You can get into a situation where you start getting coached at 7, 8, 9. That's terrible for kids. Never send kids into an academy at 7, 8, 9 because you'll ruin their happiness, you'll ruin their love for the game. But in this case, learn to solve your problems yourself. Learn to think through the game. Learn to decide what to do. If you're only listening to coaches all the time, then when will you think for yourself? And I thought that was the big thing that came out of that excellent interview Bumrah did before play started today.
Most fans thought maybe we'll have a repeat of Perth, and there's still a fair bit of play left in this second innings of this pink ball test match. But we've tried to do a comparison of what Australia did and what India did. Within India, we looked at what Bumrah did and what the other bowlers did. And I let a product of IIM Ahmedabad to tell us what the graphic tells you.
You don't need to be. You just need to be able to read the numbers, and the numbers are telling the story by themselves. When you bowl straight and when you're hitting the stumps, when most deliveries are hitting the stumps, you're more likely to take a wicket because the batter is now forced to assume that you're going to attack the stumps, then the away going ball will also give you the wicket. But look at the difference in Bumrah and the rest of the pacers. And I think in particular Harshit Rana. I think it took time. He's got so much promise. He's got the pace. He's got the hustle. But they were not making the batters play enough. You see the first 20 odd balls that McSweeney played. Didn't need to play the ball enough when the bowling was at the other end. So the numbers are very stark. In fact, I think if you look at the numbers between what India did in Perth and what India did here, you'll get the story too. Because what India did better than Australia in Perth is what Australia have done better than India over here. And I think the danger is at 86 for 1. I think with easy batting conditions to come, they might just have moved too far into the game ahead.
Lots of reactions on India's batting performance on Twitter. And what we've done is we've sort of summarized all those questions into one. And that's coming at Mr. Bhogle in the hotspot. Straight away, so was the pink ball the main reason for India's iffy performance on day one?
Could be. It could be. I mean, in all fairness, Jasprit Bumrah was asked. He said the last time they played in a pink ball test, it wasn't doing such a lot, but he had to figure out. Nitish Reddy hasn't played the pink ball. Jaiswal hasn't played the pink ball. Gill might have played a little bit of the pink ball. So yes, there was certain inexperience. There was certain wait and see about the pink ball, but it did swing. So partially it could be because of the pink ball, but I mean, I keep going back to that partnership that Gill had with KL Rahul. They seemed to get the measure. They got the measure of the pink ball. So it couldn't only be that. I think it'll be a bit of a cop out if you say it's only the inexperience of playing the pink ball, because I mean, you should be good enough at international level to handle whatever situation you get. So I'd say it was a factor, but you cannot hide behind that as being the only factor.
What's the general word among ex-cricketers who played Test cricket? Are they talking about the need for the pink ball, the pink kookaburra ball to evolve a lot more? Or have we reached a certain optimum level where it's fine, it's not so much of a factor?
No, look, the ball has extra lacquer on it. And that creates a huge difference. I was watching them polishing the ball. Now, normally when you see a bowler polish a red ball, after a while it leaves a red mark on your trousers. Here, when you're polishing, it's leaving no mark at all because it's just extra pink lacquer on the ball. And it's double lacquer because they can't have the pink ball peeling off. And as a result, I think it's coming through the air a little quicker because it's a lot shinier. Some people say, I heard David Warner saying at one point that it just seems there's a little halo around the ball when it's coming to you. So it takes time to get used to the pink ball. So It's a very, very different experience playing with that ball. We discovered that in India, didn't we? When we saw the test match in Kolkata. I don't think the test in Ahmedabad was representative enough, but the test match in Kolkata was where we discovered things about the pink ball. But it's the extra lacquer that makes the difference. They're talking about the Kookaburra ball having a slightly more pronounced seam too, but largely it's the fact that it's just a different cricket ball.
Generally, from a scheduling point of view, would you perhaps suggest a few more pink ball test matches, because the odd pink ball test in a year perhaps doesn't allow the players enough time to get used to it, right?
It's only Australia that's playing these day-night pink ball test matches. In India hasn't now for a while. We've just gone through our entire home season without playing a pink ball test match. I don't see pink. I think the West Indies have had one. I don't see New Zealand playing pink ball test matches. I don't see England playing pink ball test matches. So if you look at where the matches are happening, they're predominantly happening in one country. So I mean, you've got to get used to when you come to Australia, you've got to get used to the bounce. Similarly, you'll have to get used to the one pink ball test. I think in future it's going to be in Brisbane, not in Adelaide in the years to come. So no one else. I think South Africa might have played one or two at best. So I don't think the pink ball test is a phenomenon that is catching on across the world. So it's only a one-off in Australia at the moment that you need to worry about.
Also, maybe from a broadcast point of view, it's tougher to sight the ball as viewers as well. Anyway, we'll hear.
Were you not able to see it either? I mean, you didn't have a bat in hand, so you should have spotted it well.
It's tougher. It's tougher. I don't know why, but it's just not the same. But we'll hear a lot more on these things from broadcast experts. We'll move on to what India can do on day 2 with Mr. Bhogle in fast forward. Right. What can India, the bowling group, learn from Australia, the bowling group, for day 2? How should Rohit Sharma use his resources? He doesn't have enough runs in the pocket to be able to attack much. What should India's plan be on day 2, first session?
Very much like the players playing this pink ball test, some of the younger players, it is also my first experience of seeing a pink ball test match in Australia. So I'm feeling my way around as well. But from what I can see and from what people like, say, someone like David Warner, who's on the Fox commentary team with us, who's played a lot of pink ball test matches, the easiest time to bat was in the second session. But now when you've got yourself in, then the first session might be easiest to bat. The most difficult time to bat was when Australia were batting today. And you saw when Bumrah got Usman Khawaja, that Khawaja had that look of frustration saying, look, I've done all the difficult things, but what do I do with this? So what Australia have done really well is navigate through the toughest period and come to within 94 runs of the lead. So if India don't get a wicket early tomorrow, I think conditions will even out. Then you'll have to wait again for dusk, which is a good 50 overs away, to start to create an impact again. So I think by navigating the most difficult part, losing only one wicket, Australia have got more than a nose ahead. They're probably a neck ahead in this game. So India will just have to keep bowling straight, I think, I'm absolutely certain they would have looked at the numbers that we've seen. They're cleverer than we are. They would have seen the numbers that we've seen and realized that they just need to bowl a lot straighter. Harshit Rana, Siraj especially, and they'll hope that there's a little bit of turn. There was a little bit in the one over that Nathan Lyon bowled and just a little bit in the one over that Ashwin bowled. I hope it doesn't get into a situation where Ashwin's got to play a very long holding role. But yes, absolutely, bowl straighter and give Jasprit Singh Bumrah a little more support.
You see Ashwin bowling a lot more in the first session before the lights come on?
I think they will have to start with pace, because look, this new ball, this pink ball, it gets softer, I'm told, but it's definitely not losing its sheen. Look how much swing there was, even with a ball that was about 30 overs old. There was still a lot of swing. And because it's very unfashionable to bowl your overs on time, at the end of the day, that ball is still fairly new. I mean, it was ridiculous that we bowled 77 overs in the day today with the extra half hour added on. So as a result, going into the second day, this ball is what, 32, 33 overs old or something?
Yeah,
it's not like another 33 overall ball. So it might still do something early on. And India will have to rely on Bumrah, Siraj to get that breakthrough early on. So I don't see Ashwin coming on and having a very big role to play early tomorrow.
Right, at the end of day 1, Australia 86 for 1, still 94 behind India's 180. India won the toss, chose to bat first. Nitish Reddy with a very attractive Cavalier knock of 42 or 54, a couple of good-looking sixes there as well. But Mitchell Starc, the start of the day for Australia, 6 for 47. He loves bowling with that pink ball, 2 each for Cummins and Scott Boland, who played in place of the injured Josh Hazlewood. In reply, Australia, don't look at the number of runs McSweeney scored, 38 not out, but 97 balls for McSweeney. He'll feel a lot more relieved. 67 for Labuschagne. Usman Khawaja, the lone wicket, went to Jasprit Bumrah. Australia trail by 94 runs. It's been a long day for Harsha. It's I think it's 10 past 11 in Adelaide. So you worked hard. You deserve to enjoy your basket of fruits that I can see in the background, sir. Sleep well.
I was just pretending to doze off. I was pretending to doze off. Nah, it's okay. Yeah, but it's perfect timing for India. I can see why this pink ball test is working so well across. It works well in Australia. I mean, the sunsets in Adelaide were absolutely gorgeous. It was very, very hot, by the way, today. But it's perfect viewing time in India too. So I mean, on the assumption that even if people are at work, they're following the game. But we're getting into a weekend now.
Right. In case you guys and girls have any questions for Mr. Bhogle, please use hashtag Cricbuzz Chatter and send them across to us, and we'll try and get him to answer at least one or two of those on tomorrow's edition.
Thank you, Mr. Batavia. Thank you, Mr. Batavia.
Good night, sir, and we'll see you again tomorrow.